Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
And then yes closes the information, but he can't cancel the TP. Speaking of canceling...
Oh god, okay, Polu's flashing, Doiv's jumping, and I think Doiv gonna have to flash as well. His door not quite as powerful as Hype goes in as well. Doiv is dead, does get a lot of summoner spells for his troubles, but that is still first blood going over to the AD carry of the bros, and that is what you get for your bro tax, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Jace making his way back to lane. Morgan gets down towards these grubs first as Pungyun gonna get flung back once again. Polu comes on over. Emperor's Divide gonna be blocked as there's the flash forward from Closer, but unable to actually get too much out of it. And now Polu's the one that's in trouble. Pungyun, do you have a Q available? He doesn't, but Doiv does, and he's gonna be able to grab a follow-up kill here for DN Freecs. And now able to move on over towards this grub pit. Yep. So not gonna risk it. Hype gonna get spotted by a Void Seeker. And Doiv just gonna answer this by taking down the enemy.
This could just be 3 grubs for bro.
Theoretically, there is a Killer Instinct available here for Berserker if they do want to get on over. Void Seeker is going to connect onto Hype. If there's a Pop Blossom flash comes through, that's a lot of value. Weave as well to bring Closer in though. And now Croco is looking to turn it. Life just gets eviscerated in an instant as Pungyun does make his way out and gets out before the concussive blows goes off. Never mind though, Closer gets over that wall and takes him out. And now Doiv and Berserker needing to leave. And Bro just having the answers here.
And ultimately, but the ult from Polu stops Doiv from following up, and then they just...
Closer's dead.
Yeah. I was going to say they turn onto the Nico, but they turn onto the Talia in this situation. Very difficult, because they're both champions that can survive a long time, but aren't tanky. You know, so in Australia,
yeah,
does Santa just wear like board shorts?
Oh yeah, all the time. And he drives a ute as well. It's fantastic. As Croco gets engaged on, but he kind of likes that Pop Blossom as the answer, but I think Life is still dead. And Pungyun, he's going to have to do some funny business to get himself out. Does manage to do so. Void Seeker comes in, hits Polo, and he does with it in hand just yet. And they don't even know their health bar. Now they do, as Berserker finds a Void Seeker. Closer not finding the angle just yet. As Life really wanted to flash on in, get that Pop Blossom happening. Arrow going to come on through. There is the snapback and the immediate flash away from Doiv. The DN Freecs understand that they're not able to do anything about this. Says, okay, Berserker goes in, just nabs himself a kill. Nicely done. Flash Emperor's Divide, and Croco now finds himself in amongst it. Let's see whether he can keep himself alive as Pungyun sidesteps the seismic shove and then takes a billion rocks to the face and dies. Croco going 1v1 against Berserker, and it does not work. But Life is on the floor once again. And Bro win yet another team fight, this time with a triple kill for their AD carry.
DN Freecs try to punish, but unfortunately they're not able to take out the carries off the bros. Close on Hype, stay strong, and just deal with everyone in front of them. Yes, Berserker gets a little bit of cleanup, but ultimately Bro come out ahead after securing the Herald as well.
Yeah, really nicely played here by the bros. And they're the ones that got impressive, but for the opposite reasons, you know, and not necessarily ones you want to talk about. The DN Freecs are going to try and defend their bottom outer turret. Just don't know about it, as it will be taken down. The rest of Bros still defending, making sure that these two are going to be able to make it out okay as Berserker is coming over once again. Let's see whether DN Freecs are going to be able to fight for this soul point that Bro are now starting up.
Once again, Doiv, no ultimate, no flash, so he has to walk in to get access to this dragon. It's so hard against this team.
Yep. Shape Splitter is at least going to buy them a little bit of information as there's a flash. Nabs too as well, as Life is able to at least get something done, but it's another great flick back onto Berserker, and he just throws himself into the mix. I don't know about that one, as this team fight has Morgan in it. Pungyun being able to find the Braum is kind of cool, but who cares? Hype's able to shut him down, and this Scion being started up. And sometimes, you know, we'd be talking about Otacon being like, oh, this is a mistake. Well, I think the bros are probably going to be okay. That's my feeling. The rest of the DN Freecs are going to try and prove me wrong, though. Teleport comes in. It's an honest 5v5. Can the bros get something done? Morgan's been softened up here.
Yeah, you got to remember as well, the resist shredding that comes out, even if you are tanky.
Arrow going to connect onto Pungyun. There's the flick back as well, just delivered on a silver platter. But the answering kill is going to be there. Mid lane for support, though, doesn't feel great for the DN Freecs. And Otacon going to be left alone for the moment. And the DN Freecs not wanting to let it reset.
I think it's the right call from Bro here to back away. You got the pick, great, but unless you have a massive advantage, unless you're able to go like 2 for 0 with the picks, it just shreds so hard. Even though we have these tankier members on it, it's not just about the HP like being whittled down, but the resist shred, especially when we had lane swap meta, where picks like Sion would be, you know, down 50, 60, 80, 100 CS on the 80 carries. A fed Sion is demonic.
Well, let's see whether this fed Sion can just drive his way out, or whether he doesn't even have to.
He just walked by them, and the Unending Despair healed for 182.
Yeah, that's pretty silly. Oh, Shape Splitter, 6 points in Australia for that one. Between the posts.
Oh, you have your weird rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you
miss, you get a point.
You get a point, yeah.
And if you really miss, you don't. You don't get a point for really, really missing.
So how much? So that was between, so that would get the full points.
That's 6 points, yeah.
If it misses slightly, it's just the 1.
It's just the 1. Idea that they're going to be starting this one off.
It is
on down very quickly. Okay, teleport in. The Sion is going to be joining. That looks like the decision is, let's just do it. And let's see whether Nike was the right call, as they do manage to get the Arakan, so they get the buff, but can they find more? That is just one with the Pop Blossom, but it might be the best one that Life has found so far, as Dudu also able to take down Croco. Pungyon turns up to the fight so that he can just get recalled, and the rest of the team is also dead now as well. Well, not dead, but sort of dead.
Yeah, eventually. Croco loses his life, but Closer gets a good flash here to dodge the Azir, and then this is when Hype shows up, and it's like, okay, and Morgan got it.
Pungyon like getting over the wall and being like, I'm ready to DPS, and then immediately getting arrowed to the face.
That is significant though. The recalls rather than the death that Croco had means they are able to pick up the dragon and deny soul from Bro for a bit longer.
Yep.
And I do think that,
all right, Morgan gonna get Mikhail's, but still taking a lot of damage here. Tangle Barb's not going to connect, as now Croco trying to come on over. As Berserker hunting, does have the Void Seeker in the air, but doesn't land that onto Croco.
The sad thing is there were some pretty great spots for potential TP on a flank, but you know, Jace was already there, it's a Jace, and Azir had no TP, but that's a sort of play when they're pushed up like that, that you really could have seen an angle to punish comical when you see it.
Yep, there it is. That's a lot of blocks being put together, as Morgan almost took an damage, but did not. Arrow going to connect here on the Pungyon, who will be able to get over the wall. Flash out from Berserker is now trapped in between the wall and the other wall. That was a bit awkward, as now Morgan is tanking. Is he under any threat? No, he's not. Croco going to be dashing in on top of Life, but Life isn't too worried about it. And we had a lot of potential engaging and not a lot of actual engage.
You get the flash from Doiv and Berserker though, some pretty big cooldowns to burn, although at the cost of 2 big ultimates in the Ashe and Brahms, you're not going to have this dragon fight in 10 seconds. Oh, Doiv.
Yeah, there's the Pop Blossom though, finds 3 in the backline. Dudu on a flank angle, but Croco's pretty tanky. Morgan's immovable, and they go 1 for 1. But there's the crash. This Sion, oh no, it is despair, but it's despair for DNF, as Berserker going to get ripped to shreds. And yes, Morgan is unable to be killed.
They just cannot cut through him, you know? He walks forward, and in the meantime, the rest of Bro is slowly mounting ahead with the power of the Braum, the Talia, the Ashe, just shredding any target, and Morgan is just unstoppable. Have to get a good amount of sustain out.
I like it.
In between all this poke now. It has been started by DNF. This is risky.
Yeah. Morgan's health bar is well and truly recouped, though. See what the Bros can actually do off the back of it, as the DN Freecs not starting off any fight just yet, as Dudu might be the target. There's the crash from Morgan. Pop Blossom, though, used mainly defensively, but Croco is dead, and now the Baron not smiteable on their side, and DN Freecs will be able to lock it down. They cannot lock down the team fight. Berserker going to get arrowed as well, as they all just try to run after him. Look at Hype, he's going so fast. The Penta for Hype off the back end of the Baron attempt from DNF. And the Bros are going to walk down the mid lane and win game 1.
This is what your bro tax pays for.
Exactly. That's why you need to paint the chat purple, ladies and gentlemen, because then you get magic like this.
Byron may be secured by DN Freecs. Doiv doing his best against his old team, but Hype has been untouchable this game, and they will be able to take that game 1 win.
Really nicely done. Morgan, an absolute monster on this Sion, I swear, always in the right place at the right time, as this Nexus not long for the world, as Hype just trying to augment the kill bar And in fact, it's Closer that grabs a couple of them. Create havoc, right? And that is where Zeri really thrives. Being able to pick off targets one after the other as the coordination isn't quite there.
Window to potentially just reset. He is healing up though himself, so I think he's going to stay around a bit longer.
Whoa, he flashes and he just kills him.
That was slick.
That was slick, but also, Pungyan, what are we doing?
He could stay around, end up getting caught out. Speaking of caught out.
Yeah, Morgan could be in trouble here because that's an overheat. That's a flash forward. Dudu may have silenced himself, but not the crowd here in Lowell Park, as that is a solo kill. Able to sweep this out as well. They know there is no information for Morgan. No flash, no hope, as there's the equalizer. Morgan now gonna have to walk behind his turret, shattered and destroyed. Life even able to get out of there, only one turret shot. Oh man, it's about as easy as that. As Croco gonna answer with a dragon. And yeah, Morgan not having a good rush. Well, Doi is definitely a Wukong, is now just going to go in on top of Morgan. The Ghoulie wall is gorgeous, but what can they actually do about it? Because down goes the Yorick. Dudu is going to be answered though, and the teleport is coming in. It is so slow though, as Closer comes on forward, gets over to the other side of the wall. The charm is good from Pungyan, and he knows he has to get out, but it's a 2 for 2. And the top side for the DN Freecs was so strong.
Yeah, unfortunately backfiring. The fear from Croco get a lot of value, and then when Closer turns up, he's able...
In the meantime, it's a battle for Crab.
Yeah.
And Doi smites it, so he cannot lock down this grub. But in they go. That's a great Magnastorm from Life, as now Polo finds the quickness onto multiple people. Pungyan making his way over. Flash out of the way of the charm is good, as Croco trying to get out, and Life says, nope, you stay right here. No flash available. And that is also going to be some grubs going over to the DN Freecs, and they are getting a real advantage off the back of this one.
Yeah, Croco had his flash, he's running on the flank. The fact Dudu also forces Hype away, it leaves the Nocturne as an isolated target in the pit. And then Dudu just chases Hype away, gets the flash, fighting again immediately.
Yeah, another Cyclone to come through here from Doi, and Morgan is dead yet again.
Why is he there?
I don't know. We just came out of a replay.
Guys, there's a reason you picked Yorick.
He teleported there.
There's a reason you picked Yorick. It's not that. It's not to team fight dragons.
It's to side lane, much like what Dudu is doing. As maybe he's in trouble. Life is going to come on over. Let's see whether this 2v2 is going to work out, as he does get the scrap shield, the Magnastorm as well. The equalizer is cooking them this whole time. As Croco turns around, but it's not enough. The scrap shield, and Dudu just cooks him.
Bit of a top diff in this game, you know.
First Star Blood, as well as the first 3 kills, and the DN Freecs will get themselves some feats of strength. And Dudu picking it up.
The way to out. Just kill whoever you can see in that small pocket of light.
Well, Croco's going to get jump scared. The equalizer comes down. He decides to not walk down it, which I think makes some sense. Then he makes it dark and dies.
You know, should there be a spooky Rumble skin? Because I feel like he's a lot spookier than the Nocturne right now.
Yeah, by the way, that Paranoia... I think he needs to buy Magi's and a needlessly large rod. That's what I want to see.
Have the Shadow Flame.
Nor the Magi's.
It's kind of crazy. I thought he had more gold, you know?
Yeah, me too. A little bit odd. Still going to augment himself with a bunch of extra AP, and that's going to feel quite nice.
For Bro right now. They do have pick potential, so maybe that's it. But as we saw before, some picks are easier than others.
Well, Morgan has put Dudu in the Ghoulie wall. There is actually a lot of value here because the equalizer does basically nothing, but the Paranoia now going to come in. Morgan actually staying alive for so long, and my God, they're able to get the top side already. The DN Freecs, I don't know how they lost that, but the Bros had the answer.
Warm in to deal with the Wukong. 2 big pickups, and if you look, those are the 2 people with the most kills. The big Closer has the same lead as Rumble does, and now Dudu has the Shadow Flame.
Well, this turret going down, and Croco not going to get hit in a good spot. Is it time that we now talk about things like the Zeri situation that could happen? As this turret will get taken out. 5 grubs certainly helping on that one. For the DN Freecs.
Comes to level 16 on the Ahri. That is a massive spike. No one else is even level.
Phenomenal charms going to connect here as Croco is just dead. And you know, you've been stacking up the House of Cards. We are still going in for more. Oh my God.
Yeah. Closer just to level 15.
And they haven't even taken a Ruinous Otacon or anything like that. Just supervising the Otacon. And Closer, maybe he's in real danger this time. Does have to use the ulti.
It's a big cooldown gone though. DM Freecs. Yeah, you gotta look at Otacon.
Straight onto it.
Against the Nocturne though, this is pretty scary.
Yeah, this is danger. Follow in the area, quickness in hand, Life just flashing on over. The Magnus Storm catches him as he flashes away. Has the quickness there as well, moves pretty fast. As now, there could be a little bit of danger for good old Dudu. Hype coming on over. They will be able to get a kill for the Zeri, but they will lose the Otacon for it. And if you thought that Pengyan had a experience advantage before, he has more of one now.
End up going for a trade. You know, they do get the Rumble, they do get the tier 1 mid, but...
have during the LCK. So I looked at it and I was like, DN Freecs, with this lead that Dudu managed to get in the early stages, he was 3-1-3. I was like, wow, there is no way they're going to be able to do anything about this. But, and Polo is going to die, so that's really going to help the DN Freecs. But their biggest issue has been... And then the Bros don't really have too much of an answer.
I just have no idea what he was doing there.
Yeah.
Or how, like, as a Rakan of all champions, is just dying solo to a Wukong.
Well, Dudu is going to just supervise this Baron, and that does just go over for free.
Yeah.
Quizzical.
Some big item spikes coming through as well. Berserker picking up the Infinity Edge.
Well, we're going to trade Baron for maybe a bunch of health on this inner turret.
Oh, the Maiden? No, he's not letting it go.
Saves his Maiden. It's always good.
The Edge for Hype as well, so he's pretty strong.
Is going to put down his Ghoulie Wall. That means that Doiv will Dim Strike to get himself out of the way. Is Life going to get slowed down? Polo making his way in, crash down. Not quite working as there is the Paranoia going to be used just to save the top laner of Bro.
Not sure how needed it was after Morgan flashed. I think he was pretty out, but either way, they popped the cooldown to...
Oh, we're playing the side lanes though, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and especially when Morgan's pushing on the side, if you come and match him in that lane, makes it very uncomfortable.
Ooh, Croco going to come on over and actually shadowing Closer, but also might be able to guarantee that this does go down. Doiv possibly getting into position here as the Cyclone not going to find the knock-up, and the Strikebreaker going to slow him up enough for Closer to get out of there. He did have to use the ultimate. So that's highway robbery. You shouldn't be. Maybe they're happy that their turrets are alive.
It's Ruinous Cloud Soul, which represents
a lot of running fast.
A lot of movement. Well, even like playing Zeri into a team with a ton of movement speed is so annoying.
Yeah, you're like, what am I, like, what even is my gimmick now? Because she's the one that's supposed to be running real quick. But the inner turret going to go down.
You have to hit your Qs, you know, and if they're going side to side fast.
I thought it was more that, you know, you're supposed to be running fast and they're stealing your thing.
It's a bit of both, you know.
All right, Duskbringer going to be doing something. But the DN Freecs, slowly but surely, getting themselves into a better and better position in this game as Closer finds the gap there. And another inner turret will hit the deck here. DN Freecs very comfortably able to push this lead. Baron is just gone. Berserker does so much damage. My goodness. Okay.
It gets used right at the end.
Well, now Croco is going to get engaged on as well as Pengyan looking for it, but he's in a little bit too early. There's the Paranoia, and now Hype doing a lot of work. Doiv not finding the value with the Cyclone, and Berserker does manage to take down the Rakan. Hype still doing some work, but Berserker is so huge in this fight. Morgan, 1 versus 3, and I don't think he really likes those odds. He's surviving for quite some time, but the Maiden's getting confused, and the DN Freecs, they get the ace, and they're going to look to bring us to that game number 3.
And there's a sad Bro fan in the bottom right of your screen. Gonna have to try and find
No. This is the thing. If you're a Bro fan, don't be sad. You get to watch another Bro game.
True.
For free. Because otherwise, it just would have never happened.
Well, actually, is it free? Because you're paying Bro tax for that game 3.
All right, well, yeah, that's a good point. You're going to have to pay a lot.
Yes, you are, D-Gon. You have to pay your Bro tax.
I'm hoping that Whale comes back as well, because they're going to need all the help they can get if they want to win this one. As 9,000 was the lead in the end. For content. That's the whole game plan for the Bros. They lost a game on purpose so that we could have as much Bro as possible.
Immediate.
Yep.
The fact that you have your bot laner here and your jungler.
Yeah, Hype actually taking a while to go for his but that's okay. Ruthless Predator procced here, and Morgan actually doesn't go for the minion. As Pungyan, this time, he is likely to die as Gravity Field goes down, and he is burning. Doiv doing a lot of damage here, though, as you can see, and the Spiraling Despair actually coming on through there as Doiv unable to find Closer, but the Ignite comes down from life. He gets the shield, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Now Doiv's the one that's in trouble. He's spinning around a lot as Croco is able to take it with the bleed. A lot of damage over time between these two junglers, but it is Bro coming out on top as far as the kills.
And it's a small thing, but if Pungyan had been able to force Polo's flash earlier, just so they can hug the homies, you know?
Yeah, I think it's very wholesome.
It's very cute.
I like it a lot. Sometimes you do need a hug. As Pungyan, he's going to get a hug from a doggo, and often that is really therapeutic. This time it's not working out for him, as he's just going to be taken out.
Assassin-focused champion. But if she just launches the Q at you, it does so much damage, especially with the bleed. Especially if she hits 2.
Yeah.
Then you're chunked.
Well, Bro just going to give that one up. Morgan is fighting, and Ox, come on, man.
Especially with the Chemtech Soul as well, it takes so much pressure off, because neither team is really as concerned as you might be with other souls.
Croco is going to get engaged on here. Headbutt Pulp comes through from life, but he's taking a lot of damage. Does have the Unbreakable Will. Untargetable is Croco, and now out of the fight. Doiv also going very, very low as Hype's at full health, but they take down the Poppy to start this one off. Phenomenal headbutt, but where is the answer? As Hype goes in and nothing really happens. They take out the Lilia, and out goes Berserker with the Blast Cone. Dudu, in the meantime, is here on the bottom side of the map. And so he is going to be able to answer this somewhat, but DM Freecs fighting with a man disadvantage and they lose out.
I'm just not sure on the decision not to TP Dudu in. Like, maybe they felt that they didn't have a good ward for him to get to, but then why opt into that fight?
Maybe Dudu just said no thanks. But maybe he should have said, yes, I will. As Berserker is in trouble, he's going to get flashed on by Hype. Hype really wanted to get that kill, but Croco says, nah, mate, you're not getting it. That's my 5th, my friend.
Like, that is one of the pivotal points of this game, I feel, so far, has been that fight. And now Dudu might also... No, they just force his ult, okay.
That's a big crocodile.
But, yeah, just really, like, the
Back to it one more time. It is now going to be Bro pushing up this mid lane, though, and they will be able to take down the outer turret. So DNF letting things slip a little. He wants to get Shelly. And so that's where he's going to be. Polo. I mean, here.
Bro have no right to contest this because of the fact that Close is bot.
Guess what they're going to do, though?
TP, but he's actually running up very fast.
Yeah.
And Dudu is not TPing.
Yeah, Doiv is just spinning around. Watch out, Ape does absolutely nothing as the Infernal Chains are in. Doiv is just melting, and he will go down. And as Croco gets over there and takes him out, there is the evicted Crocodile as well, as now Life is just by himself. Berserker's on the Gravity Well, and he will be taken out as well. And it's a double for Hype. Morgan's over the wall, wanting to get some revenge on this Crocodile, who will get pulled back and just obliterated. Pungyan just has to watch as all of his friends go down, and there's nothing he can do about that.
And I just can't understand the decisions the DM Freecs are making. They don't. It's so confusing to me why DM Freecs end up playing this out the way they did.
Loves it. They got a BF sword on Hype already.
Don't do it, Doiv.
Croco is a 7-0-1 doggo. And so they don't die to him. So that's good news. Morgan going to take this outer turret on the top side of the map, though, as Rosa can just walk underneath the turret, throw down a gravity field, and even put out Pungyan as he kills the turret.
Max, I'm seeing on the... They're TPing, they're committing!
Cypher's near APOC, you know, it's not like this, DNF. Croco goes untargetable, guys. He does that a lot. As now Life moving forward, looking for the pulverized angle, and Morgan is moving in. The flash forward from Close, I don't know about that one. It's a double pole from Life, but he's down so low already. And Bro is just kind of untouched. Hype wanders past the Otacon and presses his R button. Doiv in so much trouble, a huge explosion as they take down the Poppy. But who cares? Croco is massive. He flips over the wall and Morgan is flying towards Pungyan. A triple kill. That's a 10-0-1 Nefiri for Croco. And he's looking to make that one 11 as Pungyan looking to go down for the 11th kill. Yep, the doggo keeping it binary here on the Rift.
I just don't know what compelled them. It's like something affected DM Freecs. They're like, you know what? It's time just to send Otacon and...
We're going to need so much to destroy in the enemy team's base. Doiv going to come on over. Will be able to at least get some of the chickens.
Well, I do have some good news for you. But they're killing Polu, so I'll leave.
Polu may be dead. Does get interrupted. My god, the Arcane Storm damage is disgusting. Life is not long for this world. It's a double for him off the back end as Morgan starting to become an absolute menace on the Rift. And Dudu is going to find himself the last man standing. Croco gets, I think he's 12th or 13th or something like that. Maybe he's going to grab 14. That's a bullet time to the back of the head. Point blank range. And the bros say, not today, DN Freecs. It's 0-10 time. And unfortunately, still winless here in the LCK. But the bros, a good bounce back.
Yeah, Dudu does just end up killing Polu with a flash, but it's like, whatever. Doiv is just getting chased down, and it felt like Croco just one-shot him, basically.
DK or KT?
It's KT.
Oh, God.
So the 0-10 primed KT takedown is a potential future.
Honestly, that one's winnable. That is definitely winnable.
And also, it would be very funny.
What is happening? Having a look at what... oh, they got the Otacon! They did it! It was their dream! And it has been achieved! As Life is going to see what he can do about getting them off the Nexus. The Otacon for Nexus trade is not what I was expecting, as the shortest keeper's verdict is going to push them away, and there goes the game. That was ridiculous.